reality as the light bringer. So, Janet, would you like to read first?
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay. What is it you truly desire? From Lucifer. TV series. Okay. The question quoted here can only be brilliant since Lucifer is Latin for light bringer. Bringing light to the nature of my desires can also be construed as the foundational work of any analysis, since analysis calls me to take back my projections and let go of any rescue fantasy by turning within. When unconscious, I project onto the other that which I deny, hide, and repress. This is how the question is at once easy and far from being easy to answer. And yet, to know what I truly desire, it can be as simple as taking a look at my reality.
All right. I noticed that you paused after the sentence, bringing light is to the nature of my desire. Maybe the foundational work of any analysis, since analysis calls us to take back our projection and let go of any rescue fantasy by turning within. So my question to you, Janet, is what stopped you? What got you on that sentence?
It felt like a big mouthful to process, like a long sentence. And I was just making sure that that it resonated before I moved on.
Okay.
So, and it did.
Yeah, it's sort of like you give yourself time to understand it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So appreciated. So yes, again, this thing, inside or outside, the rescue is going to come from outside.
The fantasy is that the rescue will come from outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a fantasy because it can't happen. I'm the only one that can save myself. Mm-hmm. There is no Messiah other than myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the good news and the bad news. So, unless you have a question, please continue.
Yeah, no, I just had a comment. I went to church with my family today. And it was all about Jesus. I was raised Mormon and my husband is still practicing. And they're just talking about Jesus, right? And so it shouldn't be, oh, sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. It shouldn't be triggering, but it just feels, it feels so triggering for me. And I mean, no one was saying anything that I objected to, but my emotions were just, I just had to keep telling myself, like, I am safe. I'm like safe in my body, just sitting here. So that kind of reminds me, like, because I was always like taught to like look outward, right? That we're saved by someone else. And anyway, I also feel, I'm so sorry, I feel like my emotions surprised me, but so when Emily was talking about like, you know, finding pleasure in the body, or like just really, I've been trying to connect with my body, and I swim laps in the morning, and I pretend that I'm like rescuing myself, like I'm swimming to myself. I'm like, and yeah, the safety is, it's like surprising in the places that it comes up, in areas where I feel like I should be safe. Anyway, I'm just starting to like recognize that I have to constantly be looking within, and I definitely do a lot of projections onto people. So any like conflict or argument that I'm having, I'm like, oh, what am I thinking about them, and how is that a reflection of myself and what I'm doing? So, okay, moving on.
Well, thank you for your tears, beautiful angel. Thank you for allowing your soul to come out and share with us what troubles you. Because it's truly difficult. I know it was for me, and I'm hearing that in you as well, to gauge the difference between the teachings, the true teachings of religion, when they are embodied, versus just being ideas that aren't felt and imposed on us, along with a long list of dogmatic truths. So I love the idea of the swimming saviorship. It's beautiful. And, you know, I believe it is Jesus who also spoke of the Torah as being the eternal waters, the waters that nourishes the soul. So it seems like you're connecting to that, the water that nourishes your soul. And you're moving closer to safety as you give yourself permission to follow your own path, regardless of what is being said on saviorship out there. So yes. Thank you for you.
Yeah. Okay.
So deep breath.
Yeah.
And when you're ready, please continue. And Amanda, welcome. Good to see you here.
If I truly loved reality, which is another name for God, I would have wisdom and know the difference between what I can change and what I can't. Hence, I would discern between the desires I choose to keep, my core desires, and the desires that I must abort, those that are only feeding the ego. Core desires are the desires that matter so much to me and which I want so badly that I will do whatever it takes to fulfill them, no matter how much work, risk, time, or expense are involved. These are the things that I want with all my heart, all my soul, and all my might, keyword all. Hence, it is my ambivalence that opens me to being dissatisfied, as I am not allowing myself to be totally engaged in inquiring my desires. But why the ambivalence?
Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. Now, are you aware? You can hear the difference between core desires and ego desires, between those that we keep and those that we can abort, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that makes the question why the ambivalence even greater. Because if we know that ambivalence can only express an ego desire, why do we stay in the ambivalence? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, not the behavior, but the question on the behavior.
Yeah, it's a true conundrum, right?
Exactly.
It's a true conundrum. Because if we do understand that, then obviously we know that we want to cause harm.
That's right. So then the next question is why would we want to cause us harm and not abort desires which are only feeding the ego. So